sponsored by Model Makers Workshop. Need parts for your next model project? Model Makers Workshop has you covered with the best aftermarket accessories around. And by Gaahleri, your one-stop shopping for all your airbrush needs. And good evening, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Appreciate it. So it's another week already. I think this is show number 5, if I'm not mistaken. So glad you're all here. I was facing some technical difficulty, but I think I got through it. Nothing like a Friday right before showtime to have technical difficulties. It's like, well, how do I handle that? So luckily we got it all settled down. So I think we're good. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see. I got some people in here. Mike from Pops Models. Hi. Steve. Hi. Jeff. Hi. Chet. Hi. Jeff Lawless. Thank you for coming. Kevin, my moderator. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Ron. Okay. And I thought I saw, let me roll back. My brother. Hi, brother Dave. Thank you for joining in. And I'm going to assume my brother Steve, he doesn't have an account, but I'm going to assume he's watching too. So hi, brother. How you doing? Appreciate both of you guys coming to watch me. Anyways, hey, I think we got a pretty good show tonight. And I want to thank everybody for watching us last week with Mikey and Pops from Chester's Models. That was a good show, father and son team. I really enjoyed that. So, they're out of Michigan, and they went to a show the very next day, and they uploaded some stuff, so it looked like a pretty good show there. And you know what? I printed out my script. It's not really a script, but it's a little guide, and I'm without that tonight, so bear with me. I just got to get myself all together here. Okay, I got the chat showing on the screen here. Okay, I want to do a couple shout outs real quick here before we talk about the show. And one of them is my friend Bill Beers at Locust Scale Models. He has been a follower of mine channel since the beginning, and also on my Facebook group. And he just started a channel, and he's only got like 50 subscribers. He's only been on for a couple weeks now. But, he emailed me looking for some advice, and, he's been kind of struggling. But, I tell you what, for only 2 weeks into it and having 50 followers, I think you're doing pretty good there, Bill. But a little shout out for you. So in my description of this video, I will have a link to his channel. So check him out, give him a handshake, and give him a like, and give him a sub. And, he's going to do some how-tos and whatnot. So I appreciate that. And then I want to do a shout out to my own Facebook group page, Model Building and Retirement, same name as this channel. And, I started that several months ago, but just a couple weeks ago, I only had like 170 members, but it just ballooned in the last couple of weeks. So now we got according to this, 655 members, and all kinds of people are joining daily. So I really appreciate that. It's a fun group. Check it out. I'll have a link in my description for that too, but it's Facebook, Model Building and Retirement. And I allow anything. How's my audio? I'm getting a little bit of feedback here. Let me know if that's okay. But anyways, I'm allowing all kinds of builds to go on there. I got shipbuilders, and I got aircraft builders, and I got military guys and cars, so anything goes. If you're building models, post there, and there's lots of talented people doing that. So I really appreciate it. So again, that's on my Facebook page, Model Building and Retirement. I had another one too. Here he is. One of my followers, Ian Cameron. I just want to do a little shout out for him. He just sent me some pictures of his builds, and I just thought this was kind of cool. He builds a 125th scale, but he also builds a 164th of everything. And makes them identical. And I just thought that was kind of cool. So I wanted to share a couple pictures. So here's an orange Roadrunner with a 164 scale. Really nice looking Ford pickup truck there. Starliner, just like the one I just did recently, and another Starliner there. I just think that's pretty cool. So yeah, another pickup truck. I just like people's imaginations, so that's his little thing, is having two different scales identical or as close to identical as possible. So thanks for sending that to me, Ian. I really appreciate it. Okay, got some new people here. I see. Hi, Carlos. How you doing? Appreciate you being here. I see Bill's here. Weasel. Good. Craig. Model Makers Workshop. Okay, one of my sponsors is here. So did you guys see my new logo for the channel when I started out there? In fact, it's right here on this one. So that's compliments of Chat GPT. I've been playing with that a little bit here lately. But speaking of my logo, this is some of my upcoming guests. So I have, let me turn the comments off for just a second here. So next week, I got Mark Eisenbrun of Grandpa Mark's Hobbies. He's going to join us on the show, the man with the golden voice. And I've been trying to tune my microphone to get a deeper voice, and the software does not cooperate with a Mac. So I don't know. I'm going to have to stick with this, or I'm just going to go with one of my other ones here.
Like maybe I'll use this voice. What do you think? Would that be good for Mark?
I've been playing with that button for a while. It's been cracking me up. So anyways, yeah, we got Mark next week, and then Ricky Shaggy Woodall of Shaggy's Awesome Garage is the 27th, and I've been having trouble booking the 6th of March yet. Been trying to reach out to people. In fact, a lot of you content creators, I was kind of surprised, have no contact information on your channels, like email or any way to contact you. And that may be by design, and that's fine. But I've been trying to reach out to a few of you guys to invite you on for guests, but I'm having trouble reaching you. So I have tried to leave comments a couple times, but and maybe you just don't want to be on the show. I get it. But anyways, just a recommendation is to have some kind of contact information so people can reach out to you. So after that, I got James Testers. James Tester of Scale Model Experiment will be joining me on March 13th. So I've got some good shows. I'm really appreciating everybody that's been joining the show. I've been having a lot of fun and getting some really good guests, which makes me just look good. Because, don't want to watch an hour and a half of just me talking away. But anyways, it's a lot of fun. I'm glad everybody's been accepting. And tonight's guest is going to be Matt Hickey of Matt's Models and More. Very talented guy. Awesome YouTube channel. And we have some similarities. He started just about a week or two before I did with this channel, and it's soaring. It's soaring. The guy has an outstanding channel. I'll have a link in the description for him too. Very talented guy. And so we're going to talk a little bit about his builds. We're going to talk about his business, which is pretty interesting. And we'll probably talk a little bit about his marketing for his channel, which is pretty good. Like, he's got the best thumbnail designs I ever seen. They're all eye-catching and that. So it's no wonder why he's getting attention there. So anyways, John, my buddy John. Hi, John. I see you joining. Krista, hello. Okay, so I'll get in the groove here. I've been playing around a little bit. I don't know how you guys feel about AI. I'm not a big fan of it. I certainly do not like the AI that's being used like on YouTube, where people are just faking events and stuff, making it look like natural disasters or car accidents and all kinds of crazy stuff. I just see no point to those whatsoever. And it's zero effort. I mean, you're letting a computer do your work for you. Then you're trying to go up on YouTube and produce videos and get, paid for it by ad revenue. But I think it has its place. And I've been playing with Chat GPT. And if you haven't done that, it's pretty cool. I mean, that's how I got my little logo that you see on the top corner here of the screen for my model building channel. And then also that's how I come up with my new logo for the live stream. But I put some of my model kits in there recently, and this is really cool. Let me bring them up on screen here. So this is the 60 star liner that I just did. And I thought this was really awesome. I mean, they did a really good job of reproducing my photograph here, but I just told it to, put that in a night cruising scene in a small town, Main Street. And I thought that was really cool. I just love the way it looks. It didn't alter my build at all as far as I could tell. I thought that was really cool. So I did that to a couple more. This is my 40 Ford, the one that has that color shift paint job on it. And once again, I told it go on a drag strip on a nice warm sunny day, and I wanted to launch with the front tires about 12 inches off the ground. Did it exactly what I asked it to do. Really just kind of fun to watch this stuff. This is that 65 Galaxy that I did for my friend Kevin Smith, and I told it to be sitting in a field, because the car was a little bit rusted and no engine in it and stuff like that. I thought it did an awesome job, but it's not always perfect. Like, he asked me if I could do another one and put that in his driveway, but it keeps screwing it up and turning it into all kinds of different cars, but not a Galaxy. So I don't know. I guess it has mood swings or something, but pretty cool, I think. And then this one, I thought this was cool. This is the 77 Mustang build that I just did first of the year. It was my first build of this year. So the one I had back in high school, in the blizzard of 78, I wrecked the car. So I thought, hey, put this one in a blizzard scene. And look what it did. I think it looks awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with that. What else we got here? Now this one, it's kind of funny. They didn't catch me just right, and I'm not sure why I'm looking so out of shape here with my legs, but I gave it a picture of one of my, how I shrink myself down in my videos with the green screen. So I had I cropped a picture of me so that I had that to work with. And I also had my 56 Delray there. So I said, hey, put a picture of me entering the car at a 1960s burger joint. And this is what I came up with. I thought that was pretty amazing. It's not an exact likeness, but the car looks good. Looks just like my build. And then we got this one. Now this one's kind of funny. So this is my 72 Mach 1, and I built that out of the 71 Revell kit. But I told it to go into a Ford showroom circa 1971. And same picture that I gave it on the previous one, but I told it, hey, make me look 20 years younger. I guess it decided, well, we're just going to use a whole different dude then, because that does not look like me at all. And also, where does it say Ford? It's weird. It says sales headquarters and used cars, but they sometimes they just can't spit out the words right. But you can see it's 1971 right above the guy's head there. It says 1971 models, but kind of cool. And this is my foos truck. And once again, that picture I sent it was only one photograph, and it was just a me straight unshot, but it's got the clothes right. That is what I was wearing, including the tennis shoes. But I told it to take my foos truck and me and have me loading boards in it at a lumber yard. So pretty cool stuff. And then this is my 32 two-door, and I said to put it in a car show. I wanted to see it in a car show. And what else I got? I think I had one more here. Yeah. Okay. So one more is my Peterbilt. Or no, Kenworth. I'm sorry, my cab over Kenworth. And, I got a couple of my model builds on there. I got my Roadrunner and my Ford, and, just a hodgepodge of my cars there. And I just took a picture of that on my display case, which is right behind me there, up the lit up display case. And I said, hey, take this and just show this thing running down the highway. And this is what I came up with. So I was having a lot of fun with that. I don't know. What do you guys think? But, as far as I'm concerned, AI, to just play with that is okay because it's my work, and I just wanted it in different scenes, sort of like I do with my green screen fun, just to try to make things look a little bit more interesting. So see some more people joining in here. Hi, Slugo. Appreciate you coming in. Hi, Jeffrey. Okay, so what else we got here? Let's see if I'm missing anything, because without my script, I feel a little bit off. Okay, let's go to the bench real quick. And let me switch cameras real quick. Okay, so looking at the bench, you may recognize this car. This was my 67 Plymouth GTX build that was in a pale yellow. Well, I really wasn't happy with that paint job, and it's the first paint job that I really had an issue with since I returned the building about a year ago. But this had an enamel paint job, and that pale yellow doesn't cover really, really well. So I put like 3 coats on it, but it had a little bit of a translucent look, and it was over Mr. Surfacer 1000 primer. The body's molded in blue, by the way. Anyway, so it had 3 coats on it. So several days after it hardened up, I gave it a light sanding and decided to go to the booth and hit it with 3 more coats of yellow. And I did that on a live stream, kind of impromptu, with no plan going on there at all. And I think maybe I just got a little over anxious there, trying to, do a live stream and paint at the same time, probably push my skill level a little bit. And I think what I did is I just coated that too quickly between coats, because I was putting on some wet coats there, and I got some areas of crazing. And I just decided to just strip it all the way down. In fact, I did a video on stripping that. I used brake fluid for that. I just put that video out the other day. So anyways, I'm back to square one. I'm going to start that all over again. And then the USAC Camaro build. I haven't touched this since they, when they announced the contest. I started on this thing gung-ho and started modifying it quite a bit, did the paint job and everything, did a couple videos on it. But, essentially you don't do the reveal until March 15th. It's like, well, if I can't do it till March 15th, let me just put that on the sideline for a little bit. But, March 15th is coming up pretty quick. So I pulled it out of mothballs. So just started working on that. I'm remodifying the back wheels is where I left off to fit these big tires in the back. So got that done, but I got the engine where it fits in there nice. And I got to start on the interior work. So working on that. And then I was looking at this model kit here, all 3D resin. And this was from Model Maker's Workshop, my friend Bryce, who I think Bryce is in the comment section today. Hi, Bryce. So this is a kit that he sent me, and it's a 5-window little coupe hot rod, and it's 100%. The 100% of this kit is resin. So this is going to be my first time ever doing it, but I'm not too intimidated by it because I played with resin a little bit, but it also comes with these really nice instructions, which was a surprise to me. I figured I didn't know these things have them, and I'm not sure if everybody does, but it's about 7 pages, and it tells you step by step, like a model kit, of what to do. So that's pretty cool, and it fits pretty nice too. I mean, I haven't taken everything out of the bag and worked on it. Let me turn my microphone so I don't keep turning away from that. So the body fits into the interior real positive, just fits right in there like a glove. And then this fits right onto the chassis like a glove. So I believe everything's going to fit that way, but I'm really looking forward to that. And the body looks really nice. I think it's just going to need just a little bit of sanding, not much at all. And I think just primer, sand, and paint is going to work. So I'm kind of excited with that. Let me put a link up here. Well, not a link, but I have a link in my description of his website. But I do have a picture of this build this kit that's available. So $72. It's a little bit pricey, but if you look at full resin kits, it's about what they go for. So they're a little bit more than plastic right now. You got to keep in mind there's a lot of work done on those printers to do this stuff, and it's basically one at a time. So, but it's really cool. I'm real excited about wanting to build this one. I think it's going to be a blast. So. Okay. There was another one I wanted to do too. And again, I didn't have my script with me, but my friend Chet Lewis, which I believe Chet's here tonight too. I saw him earlier, but I got let me change the camera here. Apologize. Here we go. Okay. So I got your shop card. Appreciate it. Very nice. And on the back, he's telling me that he wants to see some more Mopars. Well, I am working on that Plymouth. I just haven't got her done yet. And then like a nice little business card that he sent me too. So thank you. And I don't know if you've received it yet, but I sent you one of mine too, Chet. So appreciate that. Okay, so let me check and see if I got anything else, but I think we're going to just bring in my guest here pretty soon here. Yeah, let's do that. I've got a little montage I'm going to put together for Matt. And it includes pictures right off of his website and some of his builds. And when right after that runs, he'll be on live with me. So let me get my media set up over here and run this intro. And as soon as the intro is done, Matt will be with me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the master of eye-catching thumbnails and master builder, Matt Hickey of Matt's Models and More. Hey, buddy, how you doing, Matt?
Hey, Ken, how you doing? Good to see you.
Good. Welcome to the show. Yeah, it's good to see you too.
Thank you. Hey, before we go any further, I just need to know how much you spent to use Kenny Rogers' image for your new logo.
Yeah, ChatGPT must have thought that I looked like him. Now, the one that you see right up on the top corner here,
yeah, that's there, more realistic. There.
That one looked a little more realistic, and I tried like 3 or 4 times on this on the live stream one. I gave up, but he looks better than me, so I went with it.
That's too funny. No, I mean, you were talking about AI, and I'm a big advocate for the modeling community. As anybody that's followed me knows, most of my builds are done based off of what I tell it. And whatever project I'm building, if I know I want to go with a orange car with these wheels, just like you were doing in those images, basically, I tell it what I want it to look like, and it gives me that rendering, and then I have something, basically a plan to work off of. So I'm, for something like that, 100% all for it.
Yeah. And I've seen you are doing that. Yeah. And that's pretty interesting because you're doing it before the build, where mine were like, hey, put my build into a scene. But what you're doing is great. I mean, and that reminds me of people like Chip Foose and Boyd Coddington back in the day. They always did a rendering. They didn't just build that car on the fly. They had that thing all planned out and designed. And that's kind of what you're doing, I think, right?
Yeah, because I can't draw or paint like they can. I mean, I probably could if I had a long time, but when you can do it in a matter of 5 minutes and I can just keep building, Matter of fact, I was sitting here building while I was waiting for you. I was still working at the bench. So that's just, hey, if I can save time and keep building, that's what it's all about. So use that technology. I mean, everybody was scared of an iPhone when it first came out, and now look, it's everybody uses them. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fun for that that kind of stuff, and I'm going to do a little bit more of it. And my friend Joe at Joe's New Rush Shop, he kind of is the one to turn me onto that because he did that with some of his builds, and it's like, man, that is really cool. It just you can put these things into some pretty crazy scenes,
yeah,
way better
it's
than my
fun.
green screen.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I've been using it since. Well, I won't lie, I wasn't using it until my wife showed me, and I was like, kind of like everybody else is. I'm staying away from it. But then I kind of broke down and saw what she was doing with it, and I said, man, this could really work out for my builds. So I've been using it as kind of like a plan.
Good deal. Yeah, I
It's
see.
real.
Bryce is saying hi to you there.
Hey, Bryce, good to see you, buddy. Hey, matter of fact, I've got that Ford that you have. That is that's amazing 3D kit, man.
Oh, the 5 window.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to
Yeah.
build that thing. I think that's going to be a fun build.
Yep. Absolutely fun build. Those are
Yeah.
awesome. I haven't finished mine yet, but I've got one, and I'll be getting it done. So I know Bryce, if that's Bryce from your sponsor there, that's definitely the one I've got.
That's who he is. Yep. Hey, before we talk models and your website, I just learned something about you while I was researching, getting ready for the show, and going through your pictures and exchanging our emails or whatnot. But I discovered your business, which
Yeah.
I thought, if you don't mind, I'd like to share that a little bit because this is really cool stuff what you're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so guys, before, or well, not before, but other than model building, um, Matt runs his own business called Craft Works by Hickey, and it's a bunch of wood cutting business, wood carving, personalized engraving. This is a screenshot from his website here. And Matt, why don't you talk about that a little bit, and I'll just kind of run through the slides back and forth as you talk about, like,
Yeah.
what got you into that
Absolutely.
and
I,
what
I
you offer.
appreciate the free marketing here. This is this used to be a hobby. So this was my model making that I do now. I started back in 17 doing it, for people. People were asking for cutting boards and butcher blocks and stuff like that. So I was doing it more as a side hustle. I was in the car business for 32 years, service manager and other parts. And I was tired of the grind. The car business will wear you out. So woodworking was a side hustle and a hobby. And then it ended up turning into a business. So I retired early out of the car business, went into woodworking, and it took off. I wasn't expecting it to be as popular as it is. And I mean, I've got clients from my biggest clients right now are actually dealerships. Dealerships will hire me to do basically a congratulations gift to people that buy expensive cars. Cars now $150,000 for certain cars. So I do those, and lots of realtors. I've got a lot of realtors that do closing gifts, so I'll do stuff for them. Those are my two biggest clients. But then I also have, one-offs and stuff like that you're showing there. People will call me and say, I need something for Christmas, and get tons of orders. My busy season is usually the third to fourth quarter is when I really start picking up. So right now is a good time for me to get a lot of bench time. But the funny thing about this business is now that it's more of a business, it's a little more stressful than a hobby. That's why I got back into, making models, something that I strayed away from for decades, and got back into it after, of course, my woodworking became a job. So I needed another outlet.
I hear you. Oh boy, and some of that is just so beautiful, man.
Thank you.
I mean,
I appreciate that.
just like your builds, man. Your imagination is pretty amazing.
Hey, and I let the wood talk to me. One of my sayings that I've always said is that, a woodworker can hear the wood speaking to it, but an artist listens. That's just something I've always said, and it's kind of very similar to a model car. You know, you open that box and it's all that white plastic and well, and some chrome, but it's not chrome too long in my box. I I usually dechrome everything, but yeah, it's the same thing. It's just your imagination coming to life. You see the wood, you see the grain movement, and you kind of play off what the wood is doing and use those green patterns and movement. Now, something like that, that's a pretty popular gift right there, is cigar ashtray. I do have a couple of cigar lounges in town that I supply those to, and they're great gifts as well. I mean, a lot of people have bought those for Christmas gifts and anniversary gifts. I mean, what do you get a guy that has everything? A cigar ashtray with his personal engraving on it. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
those are real popular, and that's walnut. Those are pretty pricey. They can get up there. They're you know anywhere from $100 to $150 a piece, but depending on whatever wood you choose. But yeah, that's used to be fun, man. It still is to an extent. It really is. But I don't know. I've always been creative, so I just have to do something creative, whether it's with the wood or with plastic. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it.
And I hear you. I took one of my hobbies to turned it into a business several years ago too. Not quite as exciting as what you're doing there, but auto detailing has always been a thing.
Ah,
You know, like I'll paint. I painted and restored cars, but I also like to just keep them perfect. Even my daily drivers and stuff. I mean, just perfect details. Um, and I thought, hey, that'll be a fun business. I thought I would be doing some really nice show cars and stuff like that. And this was out when I lived in Arizona. And I made it a mobile business because, you don't get rain there. I mean, you go 320 days a year without a drop of rain. So, hey, why
oh
don't
my
I just
God.
come to you as a business? Of course, half the year you're 120 degrees working out in that sunshine. And, in the wintertime, you're 70 degrees.
Now,
But
were you
anyways,
doing main car, just normal cars, or were you doing more of the classics or restored vehicles?
a little bit of everything.
Oh, nice.
I mean, the ugly ones were the soccer mom minivans that were totally abused. Food just ground into the carpets and peanut
Yeah,
butter stuffed into the cup holders and
melted crayons.
everything you can imagine. And they probably never cleaned the car once, but it was like a lease, and it was time to turn in the lease.
Oh
So
my
they would call me,
God.
and I didn't see that coming. I never really thought that would be it. I don't know why I didn't consider that, but oh my goodness, I had some really bad stuff. But then I had some guys that just had beautiful cars that would have me out like every couple of weeks to do a full detail. And when I got there, the car was so clean. It's like, well, what do I do? I went ahead and did everything I do, but it didn't need it. But the coolest
Being
thing
in
I ever,
Youngstown, you really can't do that now,
no.
huh?
But the coolest thing I ever did is one of the high rollers at Bear Jackson, Scottsdale. But his name was Ron Pratt, and he was a builder. And so he was, pretty well off. And he had a warehouse with hundreds of beautiful show cars and movie cars and one-offs and Copo cars and all kinds of stuff. And he hired me, and I ended up working, I wouldn't say exclusive, but I worked quite a bit on his stuff,
Oh,
especially at
wow.
auction time. Like if he was gonna, because what he would do is at auction time, he would let a dozen cars go and he would buy a dozen more. So I would work with him and prep all his cars for the auction. And then when he bought the new cars, he wanted work done too.
Wow.
For example, maybe they had a little orange peel or something, and he wanted to sand down and buffed out or whatever. Uh, but anyways,
That's
that
fun
warm,
stuff. You're still touching cars. That's the main thing.
yeah, that was the funnest part of it there, and there was
Hmm.
a lot of pride with that. But it got to the point where I don't even like to wash my own car anymore. So this is where I'm tying it into what you said. I took my hobby, turned it into a business, and
Yeah.
now I don't even like to wash my own cars,
Yeah.
let
Well,
alone
I
detailing.
mean, very similar situation. I used to fix up, restore one-to-one cars. I even had one of my cars put in a magazine on the front cover, did a full spread about me. And, I was kind of like you, very particular about how, I mean, ask my wife. It was to the point where it's stressful because my OCD was kind of taking over. But the one-to-one cars, we were going to car shows all across the Southeast, and it got to the point where, one, it was super expensive to keep going. One-to-one cars they will drain your pockets quick. And then two, I was becoming too much of a fanatic. I had young kids at the time, and if they went out into the garage to do anything, I was right behind them, making sure that they weren't going to touch it or scratch it. And when it gets to that point, it's like, okay, I got to do something different. I can't do this. But so the plastic model cars are a little bit cheaper to do, and I can still make my dreams come true, whatever vision that I have of a car. And instead of just having one-to-one, because they're so expensive, I can have 50, 100, 120 of my favorite cars that I've ever wanted in a lifetime. So it's kind of a neat trade-off.
and I did that too. And I lost my ass every time I sold one of those cars.
Absolutely.
Because it wasn't about having the car. The fun was building it.
Yeah.
So as soon as I was done building it and spent all that money on everything I had to do to the car,
you were bored.
I wanted the next one. Same thing, in retirement, fixed budget here, models is what I turned to as well.
Well, we actually sold my magazine car to get the house we're currently in. That was our down payment. So
oh, wow. Okay.
We were like, hey, let's get rid of it. We'll use that as a down payment for the house. And that's what we did. And never looked back. I mean, I did have a little Miata that I fixed up. I was going to put a Coyote motor in it and make it one of those monster Miatas. And I had it slammed with some nice wheels on it and stuff. But I even lost interest with that. It just wasn't the same. So, and my kids were older then, so I didn't have to really worry about them as much as when it was, a long time ago. So it's just not the same anymore. Just like you don't want to wash the car. Yeah. I take my car through a car wash every time now. I'm not getting out there and washing it. No way.
Yeah. I don't mind the Challenger. I don't mind the Challenger, but the truck, the Ram, man, that thing's big. I need a ladder and everything,
Yeah. I don't blame
Now, you mentioned a Miata. My brother Dave, who's in the room today, he has a Miata that he autocrosses with.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty cool hobby. He's kind of heavy into it. He has like in-car camera and all the telemetry and stuff. Looks like
that's
a lot of fun.
That's real big here in Columbia. Well, more on the outskirts like Camden, but SCCR is basically a racing community where they do stuff like that, and it's track. It's not an oval, it's road course style racing, and a lot of Miatas are out there. I think people, speaking of the Miata, a lot of people give that car so much crap, but that is, you think about it, a rear wheel drive small car like that. What was a Cobra? It was a small car like that, rear wheel drive. You had the engine bay in a Miata is such a good size. You can put a Coyote in there, and you got one of the baddest cars on the planet when you talk about weight to power ratio. It's you can't beat it. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I just wish more people would kind of get on the board of fixing up those Miatas, because they're good looking cars.
For sure. In fact, that's his comment right there, that he loves the V8.
Yeah, V8. We called them monster Miatas because they were monsters. You had to do some serious work to the rear end of those just to keep the traction, because all that power going back there, but it's part of the fun.
And I don't know if you watched the one episode I had, but I went down to Bowling Green, Kentucky with my brother to pick up his brand new ordered Corvette. And the same guy who has the Miata. So he bought that. Oh, geez. What is that, Dave? It's the EV one. The name just escaped me for a minute.
EVO?
Pardon me?
Is it an EVO?
It's a EV and gas powered. It's a hybrid.
Oh, it's a hybrid vehicle.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name. Come on, Dave, put it up on the screen. Anyways, a beautiful car, but I asked him if he's been taking that out to the track, because that Corvette it's a race car. I mean, it's a supercar. E-Ray. Thanks, Dave.
E-Ray,
it's a Corvette E-Ray. It's a hybrid. And it's like 600 horsepower.
Instead of the Stingray, they change it to the E for the.
Yeah.
And see, that's another thing. People make fun of E-cars, but I mean, the power of those things are ridiculous. I know you don't get the gasoline smell and the rumble and all that stuff, but gosh, if you've ever been in one and completely hit the accelerator, you will change your mind on what an e-car will do. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, I love that rumble of the real engine. So I'll
yeah,
probably never get on board with the EV, but it's instant power. All those moving parts of a combustion engine
yeah,
actually
yeah.
slow the
It's
car
true. It's
down.
true. Absolutely.
Yeah. But anyways, he got that Corvette, but he still prefers the Miata out there on the track. So,
Yeah, it's probably a little bit easier to handle.
oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah. Because that Corvette's it's a lot heavier than the E-Ray for sure, and a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
more powerful too.
Yeah.
Because it's not an actual race track. It is they call it autocross, so it's like an airport, big tarmac, if you will, with cones,
Ah,
which is safe because what are you going to do if you wreck? You're going to wreck into some cones instead of guardrails and other
true.
cars.
Very true.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get back to you. And I got to congratulate you on your channel. I think you're
Thank you.
doing an awesome job on that, because I know we started about the same time. And folks, if you saw some of that montage that I played at the beginning for Matt, you got the most eye-catching thumbnails, but they're not clickbait because your thumbnails get your attention and you deliver on every video exactly what that thumbnail is saying that you're going to see. And so it's no
That's
wonder
funny.
why that you're doing so well, and you do a very good presentation on all that, whether you're doing reviews or builds. So congratulations with that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually, I guess a lot of that is research. I'm a bit of a nerd. I even have a video out there saying that model car builders are smarter because we're just we tend to go into things a little more analytical. And part of that with the YouTube is I do a ton of research, and I'm not always just watching YouTube videos of other creators. I'm watching YouTube for YouTubers, like how to get more videos, how to get more attention to your thumbnails, how to, I work a lot on that side of that. And, a lot of people ask me, why do I only put one video out a week? And the algorithm shows and tests that if you do it once a week and schedule it at the same time, your channel or your it turns into a show more or less. Than it's kind of like growing up in the 80s. We don't have this format now where you can go in and watch a show anytime you want. Now I'm actually rewatching the entire 5 or 6 seasons of Chips because it's on.
Cool.
You can go pull it up on demand anytime. But back when we were growing up, if you wanted to watch a show, you knew it was coming on Thursday at 8 o'clock. So you got excited about that. So I just kind of turned it into a show and let everybody know, hey, Sunday at 9 a.m. I'm dropping a new video. And on top of doing that is the research that I've done. Kind of says they suggested doing stuff like that. They said everything on my thumbnails is based off information that I've gotten or received from somebody that may have texted me or emailed me and said, you might do a lot better if you do this, this, and this. And before this modeling channel, I had a woodworking channel. So this is not my first go round with YouTube. So I get a lot of people saying, gosh, how'd you grow so fast? How'd you do this? How'd you do that? And a lot of it is because this is not my first time around the block with YouTube. I've been on it before, twice before, actually. One was more of a music type channel, but the second one was with my woodworking when it was a hobby. It was like a how-to, and that's been deleted or erased since. But yeah, so I feel comfortable in front of the camera. I think way ahead. I'll plan out videos. I think all that helps, to get those views and to get those subscribers. And you got to ask for it. There's so many people I watch, I love and admire that don't ask, that don't say, hey, subscribe to me. Hey, tune in to me at this time. It's just, a lot of it is just simple. It's not anything that's rocket science. It's just, well, some of it I can say is probably personality. I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve, and I let people know that in the videos, especially if I'm doing reviews, and I
Yeah.
don't hide it from the product people. When they approach me and ask me to do something, I tell them straight up, yeah, I'll do it, but I'm doing it in exchange for this video, and I'm going to be brutally honest, but before I post the video, I will give you a shot and shoot you an email and tell you what I found wrong with the product, what I found great with the product. And I've never had anybody say, no, I'm not going to let you do it, because
Oh, okay.
I guess they figured their products are that great. But I've had a couple that bombed, and I'm like, don't buy this stuff, guys. Don't buy it. So I think people see the genuine side of that. I would rather have my audience love me for that than a product company love me for showing off their new tool, because I
Yeah.
could care less. You know, if they,
Right.
for instance, Gaahleri is now one of my partners. If you noticed in my videos, I really don't post it like at the beginning or anything like that. They've been with me for a couple weeks now. Actually, the last probably 4 videos I've been with Gaahleri. But my whole deal with them is that, yes, I will work with you, but I would rather be a silent partner with you and just use your products, and occasionally post up something about, you know, the code or what I'm using. Or so, and I wouldn't use them if I didn't trust them, because at first I was like, why is everybody using Gaahleri? Because I was stuck on some other airbrushes and stuff like that I liked. But when they sent me their stuff to try out and I started using it, I really understood why people liked the Gaahleri products. Now I
Yeah.
understand, because it's good stuff. The paint and the guns. So it's just saturated. There's just, and I'm not afraid to say this, even if Gaahleri is watching, it's so saturated. They've got every model maker using it. So
They do, yeah. It looks like, I mean, I've seen people with even like less than 500
yeah,
subscribers and
yeah,
are already sponsored, but
absolutely.
they definitely
Yeah.
got it covered.
Yep.
Yeah. I was using their equipment before they sponsored me. What do we
My
got there?
little my little unicorn cup. It's not vodka, it's water.
Okay. Is that for? I thought maybe that was what you used to thin your paint with. Because what do they call that?
Thinner?
That one thinner. It's called the leveler, Mr. Hobby Leveler Thinner, and people call it unicorn tears. I don't know if you ever
Unicorn
heard
tears. Yeah, I mean, that could be unicorn tears. Absolutely.
that. So, anyways, yeah, congratulations on that. I think you're around over 10,000 subs now.
Yeah.
And I know that's not really a key indicator, but it is in a way. I mean, you know, that's
Yeah.
what the public's used to seeing, you know. Very good. Hey, let's talk about models.
Absolutely. Best
Okay.
part of it.
You sent me all kinds of pictures, and I'll tell you what, it was like going to a show, because your work is just, it makes me realize how far I need to go yet. But I appreciate it, because this is the kind of stuff that makes me realize that okay, you know, you've got a long ways to go. And this
I was
one you just
proud of
had,
that one.
it's a
I was
recent one,
proud.
but that's beautiful.
Yeah, I was very proud of that one. That one that took me about 2 months to build that one, and that was almost working on it daily. I think I may have put too much detail in it if you see it in person, but it was I'm falling in love with Tropical Glitz, their whole paint line, and Manny and the guys at Tropical Glitz are amazing. And I first time that I've used that paint was on that car, and that's what made me fall in love with it. And that's right there, just one of the things I do with every car. I will say this: there won't ever be a model that I do that is right out the box. I'll just say it. That might be blasphemy for some builders, but I just can't. The artistic side of me will see a car. I can even see an ugly car and see something beautiful in it, and will make it the way I want it to be. such as the car I'm working on now, the 73 Mercury Cougar. That's such an ugly car in real life. But I've done some major mods to that thing. So
Yeah, I've been following that build. I'm real anxious to see what you're doing, because you're doing like again, I'm gonna say like a Chip Foose or something. You're tucking in those big fat ugly bumpers, and you really get into the
5 mile per
modifying.
hour bumpers that were, the 70s ruined a lot of cars, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, there's ways to make them look good. But
I don't think it
back
was
to
their
that,
fault. They were forced to, and they had to adapt.
Unfortunately. Yeah, back to that car. That was, a lot of people sleep on that kit as well. That was that darn. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab the box art because that's this one. When people saw this car, people were like, "Ugh, I don't want to build that." And when I opened that kit up, I was completely amazed how well that kit came together. That is a really nice kit. From fit, finish, everything. Super kit.
Cool. And you're really good at opening these doors and trunks. And I saw your episode about the 3D hinges. It looks like a 3D hinge there, right?
Yeah, that's from Z-Force Model Works. That was Gen 1. Me and him were working together on that. Of course, he's the brains behind it. I just came up with the idea, and those were too small. We had to actually make them a little bit bigger. That's my 64 Cutlass 442. That's not a car you see on show tables too often.
Did they do a 442 and 64?
They did.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize they did it back that far. Okay.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, my brother had a 67 back in the day.
Yeah.
I like the exhaust coming out there on the front of the back wheel there. That's pretty cool.
I went a little radical with that. That's probably
what is that, a 5-inch exhaust?
But it was fun. Definitely fun. And believe it or not, those wheels are Ford wheels.
Oh, are they? Okay.
That is a Ford wheel. The center cap, I removed the emblem off of there. That was the Ford emblem, and put the I had a photo etch set for that particular car actually, and put the Oldsmobile emblem on it.
Right.
Just thought the look matched it.
Yep. And Weasel, I agree with you. Yeah, the box art is just a suggestion, and of course the box art that Madja's held up, that wouldn't have motivated me at all. So you had a vision that you could turn this into something a lot prettier than
Weasel,
that.
my man, good to see you, buddy.
Okay, what else we got here? Yeah, look at that engine now. Is that
That's a 572 twin turbo.
Okay. Well, you painted that up really pretty
in that car.
Yeah.
Now, please ignore the heat on the. I did not. That was my first time trying to do the whole heat on the exhaust, and I actually, believe it or not, that was done with permanent markers.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah. So after I painted the exhaust with the Fusion Firm, let it dry like you're supposed to, and then used the permanent markers over it and kind of blended them in, but too much. That's just too much.
Great. They were talking about the screen here. I just want to make sure we weren't having a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure what they were talking about there. I don't see any issue with the broadcast there. Okay. So, yeah, that's really pretty. And then vinyl roof. Is that a textured paint? It looks like maybe.
No,
or
that's actually the masking tape trick. That is.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Tape. Yep, but instead of using the overlap of the masking tape, that's actually, I want to say, 30 gauge solder wire that I used to do the seams. But I put it right over where the overlap was for the masking tape.
Okay. Yeah, looks really good.
Yeah, and that was Tamiya white.
I'll have to try that. I my first one I did, I just used black flat and just held my brush way back and dry sprayed it and gave it texture. And then I bought some textured paint from MCW, textured lacquer. I'm not sure what he's got in it, that gives it that texture, but it did pretty good. But yeah, I like to look at that too. I mean, it's got just the right grain and stuff in it.
Yeah, it just depends on what tape you use, I think. Believe it or not, that was blue tape. So it took good 3 or 4 coats because I did not prime it. I sprayed the white Tamiya right over the blue tape to get it covered. But that blue tape does have a really good texture on it to look like vinyl. But it is hard to get, around the corners there on the around the back windows and stuff like that. It's hard for it to lay flat. You got to make nice cuts in your tape to get it to lay flat. So that's always, I would rather use textured tape if I can find something that I was comfortable with. I definitely would do that.
Great.
Who's that
So-
there asking about the 3D parts?
That's Bryce from Model Makers Workshop. So he wants to know what your opinion on 3D parts and what it's doing for the community.
Oh, it's
Obviously, you got
huge.
one right in that car. So
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, to me, it's saving our hobby. I'll just put it out there like that. It's absolutely saving this hobby. I have a 28-year-old son, and he's into the import tuners and stuff like that. He's actually building a 1-to-1 tuner race car, and he builds model cars as well. And if it wasn't for 3D stuff, he probably wouldn't even be building models. So if we want to bring this younger generation in, we got to have more options for them. We just got to do it. Matter of fact, Bryce made a engine for my son. I don't know if he put 2 and 2 together, but yeah, my son called me and said, yeah, Bryce is making me a Honda engine, a turbo style Honda engine that he was putting in his car. So it's stuff like that. 3D parts, absolutely. It is saving this hobby. The purists could fight me on that, and I'll put my gloves on, because every car I've done so far has had some form of 3D parts in it. So much so that me and the wife are now printing. Well, I better not say me. I better say the wife. The wife is doing all the printing. If I need something on a car, I'm working on an old rust bucket now. My video will actually drop this Sunday. And I needed wipers for this 3D van that I'm building. It's a 3D print that she printed for me. It's a rust bucket challenge that I was working on because I've never done one. I saw the one you had in the field, and that was magnificent. So I decided to do one, and I'm pretty pleased with where it's going. But I told her, hey, I need some wipers. And she was able to go up there, print some wipers for me, brought down about 10, 15 sets. So I have enough to use in future builds. So
yeah,
3D parts are super, super important right now.
yeah, I'm definitely getting into it too, for sure. Not the printing itself, but the the stuff that's available.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm looking at this picture here of your dashboard. Oh, my God, that looks so real.
Yeah, that took a long time. You know what I really hate? Look at the set of keys. People don't see that stuff. The set of keys on the front seat. So that's photo etch. That's a keychain with 2 keys. And in a show, nobody ever sees that, unfortunately. And that's what sucks about spending so much time on the interior, is nobody gets to see it. And you put so much time and effort into it, and people just, they can't see it. So I'm working on a Lincoln right now, and it's a convertible. I said, now I can do some interior detail. That was a fun build. That's a full 3D build right there. Speaking of 3D builds.
Okay.
That is from mcvproducts.com. He's got a little 39 Fiat Dragster. Now, that car, if you buy it from him, is a short wheelbase car. And I chopped it all up and made it, I drug out the frame on it. Just went all out crazy because I can't leave anything alone. I've got to mess with everything. I can't ever leave it the way it is. Unfortunately.
I like that you planned a spare tire just in case it's going down a quarter mile and they need to change a tire.
You know what's funny is I got a lot of compliments on that, because people say you never see the Dragster with the spare tire on there, and I'm like, yeah, man, it's adding the weight so it'll do a wheelie going down the track. That's what we're trying to do.
Really cool though. I mean, the detail there, the seat belts and that just looks real.
Thank you, man. I really
you
appreciate it.
You are an awesome builder for sure, my friend.
Really appreciate that. That's a whole bunch of 3D stuff there too, and parts from MCV Products, the seat belts and stuff, which, man, That's a pain in the butt to do. Those seatbelts are hard. Trying to fit them through those photo etch little holes and stuff. My fat fingers just can't do it.
Right. Hey, Jim's asking about the glass. Jim, that's the one thing that's sticking point still with 3D is they just haven't got to that the ability to print out good clear glass. But what they do is people are using just plastic styrene and using that for windows. Other people are using a vacuum form technique with clear styrene, and some of these kits are actually sending out bucks that'll be the same shape as the windshield, and you put that into a vacuum form, and it'll form to your glass. But nothing like the model kit plastic glass that comes in a plastic kit.
You're 100%
do you have anything
right
to add
there
on that, Matt?
Yeah, you're 100% right there. And I've what I use now, that particular kit for the dragster, of course, it's a dragster, so it's no different than being a top fuel car. There's no need to have glass in it, but I use clear styrene, and here's an example. If you want to put the full screen on so people can see it there, that's clear styrene. And what's cool about these 3D kits is that they do come with bucks already, but they're resin bucks. So I just lay the buck down over it, and you can see it fits in around there perfectly.
Yeah.
I just used the buck and use it as a stencil, cut out the clear styrene, and then cut it out and use. Typically, we use Mod Podge to hold my glass in, whether it's plastic or the clear styrene. That's pretty fun.
So you're not actually forming it; you're just cutting it to size and then gluing it in and making it form to the inside of the car as you glue it.
I'm actually glad you said that, because there is some truth to the form part. Because even if you match the actual size of what they give you, it's going to be just a little bit bigger. So when you try to fit it in there, it's going to be warped. So you do have to trim a little bit off and reshape it. But once you do that, that fit in there perfectly once I did the little bit of trimming, and it automatically conforms. And then what I'll normally do is take a heat gun, put it on the lowest setting, don't get too close, stay far back, and just give it a little bit of heat from the inside, and it kind of forms to the inside of the car as well. But you do have to be really, really careful with that, because I've burned through 2 or 3 pieces of clear styrene doing that before, so you got to be careful with that.
Okay, look what Bryce is saying here. There's a new resin, 98% there for printing glass with no yellowing, and he's waiting on new printers and the resin. Okay, well, that sounds encouraging. Can't wait to see what you come up with, buddy.
I think BG Models, BG Builds, I can't remember the name of his channel. I'm sorry if he's happens to be watching, but he does a lot of resin printing, and I think he has found a way to do clear glass. I just saw a recent video of his where he was working on that. So yeah, that's good news if we're getting there.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that it will be solved. But I'm just looking at the detail of that front end too, man. That's all 3D printed stuff there too, then, right?
Yeah, chopped off, believe it or not, that entire rail from basically the where the tie rod's in there for the steering all the way back is brass rod. So brass rod was the easiest thing, and the stiffest thing. If I would have used plastic, it would have sagged. So I had to use brass rod all the way back to underneath the body. But those are the original.
So serious right now.
I was waiting on you to do that.
That was the wrong one.
I knew it was coming.
I made some sound effects.
I was waiting on it. I knew it was coming.
I like the wagon here. Now, is that a kit or is that a resin body?
That's a kit. That's the surf wagon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know what? That's my very first build when I came back to the modeling community. My very first build. That was all acrylic. And I don't know why I was bold enough to try to do a 3 tape off paint job there. And yeah, that was a bold move for my first model car coming back. But yeah, that's my first car.
If you're going to do it right off the chute.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
how many years ago was this, Ed?
Believe it or not, it's not even a year. I haven't even been doing back into the models, but 10 or 11 months.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. When I tell people that, they don't believe me, but it's
Yeah.
true. It's just, you got to understand, I did it for a long time when I was younger, of course. But coming back into it, it's like riding a bike. You really don't lose it. You really don't. So it's
Yeah.
just
But
being
well,
creative.
then you were building pretty awesome in your younger days then. Like I did too. Well, I didn't build awesome. I built when I was young, but they were glue bombs and spray can paint jobs, and I didn't prime, and I didn't polish, and I didn't buff, and I didn't foil. But when I got back into it a year ago, it's like, well, I'm going to do it the right way. So I'm trying to get up
What's
to
funny
speed.
is even back then, I look back at all my old models, which I never kept because I stayed at my parents' house, and I'm sure they threw them away. But even back then, I never really rushed. I was always, I guess, I had that patience with doing the model, that I never rushed through it or never put a ton of glue. Always used the bare minimum. Now I didn't do stuff like I'm doing now, of course. It was usually all box stock back then because we didn't have the options we do now. And if you did have the options, unfortunately, I didn't have oh, my battery's running low. I didn't have the same stuff to do like I can do now, unfortunately.
Okay. If you get real bad on your battery, is that a phone battery, right?
Yeah, my
Okay,
wife will come in here with a charger for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'll be saved.
if you
She's
need to hook
watching in
up.
the other room.
Okay.
She watches you, Ken.
Oh, she does?
You old handsome Kenny Rogers looking you.
Well, my character is. Now this
Now,
one was interesting.
man, yeah, I see that's my very first rush job, and it was bad. It was bad.
No, it's all
I've been
right.
working on it behind the scenes for a while now, so that was, to me, and that's a 3D kit. That's a Corvair wagon, and yeah, I wasn't pleased with that one at all. But I probably shouldn't send you the pictures for that one.
I like it. Hey, well, not everyone is out of the park, that's for sure.
That's probably my least favorite model that I have.
I like that little fueler in the back window there.
Yeah, see, just something else again. Just like, hey, I had the fuel tank. I'm like, man, how cool would it be if the gas tank was coming out the back window and that's where they filled it, and then you can see where they've spilled the fuel because they're in a hurry to get to the drag strip. So it's just stuff like that, man. My mind just it just can't leave anything alone.
Yeah.
Like, who would be racing with those kind of wheels?
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
I told you she would come in and save me. The only problem is I need her to kind of plug it in behind the scenes. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to be able to plug it in because my microphone's plugged in. So we'll be okay, Ken. It
You
said
sure?
I had
Okay.
20%. Yeah, it said I had 20%. So
Okay.
we should be good.
All righty. So what are you using? An external mic?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a Holly Lane. That's what I use on all my videos, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just attaches to the collar there and plugs right into the phone.
Yeah, and if worse came to worse and you were running out, I think switching to just your phone mic will probably, work
Okay.
if we had to. So don't be afraid to have to go there if you need to.
Gotcha.
All right. So you sent me so many pictures that I actually had to make 2 PowerPoint slides because it wouldn't allow me to put all the pictures on one.
I got
this
nervous
Belvedere,
when I saw your
right?
previous videos. I was like, man, I don't think he has enough photos for me. So yeah, I sent you all you wanted to use. You don't have to use them all.
Yeah.
You just wanted to
we're
make sure
fine.
you had some.
We're looking at them. We'll see how it comes along there.
Now,
But
see, you
yeah, this
talk
is
about
another beautiful
different.
build.
I mean, that right there, who would ever go to a model show, you see lots of chrome everywhere you go and model shows. And I was thinking completely opposite. I said, I want to do a Nardo gray that's flat, and I'm going to do all my trim in black, gloss black. So once again, just trying to be different.
Yeah. I'm reaching out of my comfort level too a little bit, like that. The 60 Ford that I did, big black wheels. That's not my style, but I appreciate that, and I said, well, I'm going to build one that way. And even this USAC build for the Camaro, it's got big black wheels and all black window trim and stuff like that. No
I
chrome on
love
it.
that look.
Yeah, well, you're a little bit younger than me.
It's very menacing. It's a very stealthy, mean look. Instead of, I still love my chrome. Don't get me wrong. You're still gonna see tons of chrome, but I
Right.
also love that dark, menacing look. So it's pretty cool. It's fun. That was another trunk cutout. I do like doing my trunks, and if you notice when people do their trunk lines for their jams, most people will stop right before that bend, but I will actually take the styrene and bend it with some plastic cement, with Tamiya cement, and let it melt and slowly just make that bend, so it matches the actual flow of the trunk. So a lot of people also didn't even know that was a Belvedere because of what I did to the front fenders.
Yeah,
That's a 64 Belvedere, I believe it was. Yeah, right there. A Belvedere has that really sharp at the front, on that right front fender, a really sharp corner molding that basically does a U-turn, and goes back towards the wheel.
Okay.
The black molding right there. So I shaved it right there and stopped. I did not want it to look like a Belvedere. A lot of people thought that was an Impala, believe it or not. I'm like, no, that's not an Impala. That's a Belvedere.
Yeah.
And, but because I shaved that fender, they couldn't recognize it.
Well, once again, it's one of those styling cues because I recognized it as a Belvedere, but I did not recognize all the body mods, because you kind of make it look like it was meant to be there.
That's the whole point. That's my whole goal is unless I point it out, some people go, something's different, but they don't know. That was a fun build. That's the 29 Ford Roadster. That's a real popular kit from Revell, and I did the low boy, but I did it even lower than the low boy. But that was a fun build.
Yeah, I still got that kit to build. This Nova's pretty.
Thank you. That actually at the Acme show got me one of the top 15 Acme tokens. I was proud of that. I really didn't expect that car to do so well, but yeah, at Acme they give you some of the judges had coins to go around with and give out, and there was only 15 they could give out of the 960 models they had, and I was very fortunate enough to get one. So that was pretty cool. I will cherish that forever because I really wasn't expecting that.
Cool. I see Ian's in the room there. I was showing his Matchbox and model builds where he does the two side-by-side paint jobs. So it was a pleasure sharing that, Ian. Thanks for sending that to me. Yeah, I mean, you just look at that, the roll bars.
Yep. I took them into the back dash.
And I was looking at the engine here. Okay, so you get I'm assuming that's 3D printed, or is that photo etch stuff?
Nope, that's all 3D printed. That's the Corvette engine. And then I had 3D printed alternator and all that good stuff. I scratch built the roll bars to go all the way into the back dash, which, gosh, looking at that now, I see a couple holes that I missed. I'm showing all my flaws here, Ken.
Well, I don't think anybody would have noticed, but the builder always does.
That's right.
Now, is this last
I got
year's
a video
USAC
about
build?
that car because Revell stepped up and helped me with that car.
Oh, really? Is that the USAC build for last year?
No, I didn't join that, but that was a car that I was halfway done with and realized 3/4 or a quarter of the fender was completely missing. So they sent me a new body.
Okay, short shot.
Yep.
I learned that term after my semi truck that I built, the trailer, the car hauler trailer. It was all the Rams were short shot. So that's how I learned the term.
No way.
Yeah. So
did they take care of you?
I bought it from a hobby shop, and it was an older open box kit. So And I didn't even buy it in state. I bought it when I was visiting my brother in Indiana. So I ran with it and I patched it up, and I made a story in my video that, hey, the guy bought this thing, it was in a fire, and he patched up all the ramps.
That's what you got to do sometimes, man. Use that creativity. Yeah, that was a fun build, and that was especially the engine with the carbs and stuff, doing all that detail. And then I made a splitter there, just tried to make it look like, I was telling you about the SCCR. If you go back a couple of slides, I actually made all the decals for that car, and I put the Hickey Racing on there, and there's a SCCR decal I put on there just for the local boys that do the road course racing. Pretty fun.
Great. Chet, if you're watching, here's your Mopar. He's always after me to build Mopars.
I love Mopars too. I'll definitely do them.
Oh, they're beautiful cars. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the 60s and 70s. I mean, those cars right there. I'm not a big fan of the new ones that are out now. I know they got a ton of horsepower and stuff, but I'm just more of the 60s and 70s is my thing.
Oh, yeah.
I love my Mercuries. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big Mercury guy.
It's a nice one. 66, maybe?
That's a 68. No, that's a 65.
Oh, okay.
That's a 65.
Once
again, you never see the interior detail, and you got to take those pictures. I would urge anybody that does shows, take pictures of their interiors, because once that car's put together, you're just not going to see it like you hope to.
That one was pretty.
That is what I call a rebound build. And I'll explain what that is. That Belvedere we were looking at, the gray one, that car put me through hell. And it got to a point where I made a video called Model Making Moods. And I about wanted to throw that Belvedere through the wall. So this was a rebound build where I said, I need something quick. I didn't build an engine. I didn't do the interior. I blacked out the windows. But
okay.
Just like me, I had to scratch build something. So I scratch built the wing on the back and the front splitter, and did a 3-tone paint job, and slammed it down as far as I could possibly go with those big wide slicks. But it's, once again, that's a rebound build. That was something I did in like 2 or 3 days, and it felt good. I could breathe. I could say I got something done, and then I'd jump back on the Belvedere. So kind of like a rebound relationship. It's just something to get over the hump and make you feel better again, so you can get back on track.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm far behind your skill level still, but it's like that 60 Starliner that I did. That was probably the most intense as far as fitting things, resin and stuff into the car. So, it took me a challenge for me. So the next one was that 57 Surfer wagon that I did, and that one I slapped together in a week with the patina paint job and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it feels good to do that.
Yeah, you have to do it. And same thing with that one. I've got the Hickey Racing decals on that one as well, and I made the Irish pub decals for that one. I used some of the stuff. That was the MPC, which that was a horrible kit anyway, in my opinion. That's the MPC. Doggone it, can't remember the name of that drag car. Very popular. Everybody's done it. That is in fact, I've got it right there. Yeah, the USA 1 by MPC. It's the Bruce Larson car. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. Horrible kit, in my opinion. I mean, there was so much flash and everything in that car. That's why I just said no engine, no interior, no nothing. I'm just using the body and having fun with it.
Hey, everybody, like Mike says, slam that like button there, buddy. 67 people watching. That's good. That's good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, good. You know what? You didn't send me enough pictures because we're through the slides.
Good.
Beautiful work, man. I really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, hey, audience, stuff. Too. Go ahead. Sorry.
I said that's fun stuff. I mean, being able to show that stuff off is fun. And I appreciate what you're doing, and I wish your whole setup for this show is pretty cool. So I got to give you kudos to be able to bring in a content creator, weekly and interview them is pretty spot on. That's a great idea.
Well,
So keep
thanks,
doing what
Matt.
you do.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to get comfortable at it. And each show I tell myself I'm gonna just be all relaxed and just roll. And then like this one here, I just fumbled all around. I felt like for quite a while.
I think you're doing great, man.
I appreciate the kind words. It's a lot of fun. No, I'm enjoying doing it. I'm so pleased that folks like you are accepting to do it with me too, because that's what makes the show.
Well, like you said, if more of the creators put their information in the description, you can get a hold of them, and do this. And I'm sure everybody. The way I look at it is, you were talking before about being so good at getting my channel out there. Well, if these creators want to be get their stuff out there, you get on shows like this and let people watch, learn who they are.
Right. And
Weasel, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Weasel. And this whole platform is letting me meet new people too, and opening my network, if you will. So I'm sure that a lot of the guests that I have are probably going to be able to get me in touch with some of the people that I'm trying to get in touch with.
Absolutely. I'm going to send you a bunch.
Good. You mentioned Irv. I want to get his information.
Yeah,
I'd like to
Irvin's
get him
my
on there.
buddy. He's my, on the Mount Rushmore of builders for a guy my age, because he's really, really old. I mean, you won't believe how old he is, but I hope he's watching this. I only did that for him. No, he's not that old, but on the Mount Rushmore, I'd have him. I'd have probably Mark Batson. Mark Batson is just an amazing builder. You got people like, there's so many.
Fred Henry.
Fred,
trying to reach out to Fred.
Yeah, I mean,
he used to have his time slot.
Yeah, the last show we were at, he was standing behind me. And I swear when he talks, it sounds like Sam Elliott. And I turned around and I said, "Is that Sam Elliott?" He's like 7 feet tall. So I had to look up at him. But yeah, he's a heck of a builder too. There's a lot of guys out there. Tim Kalinkowitz, he's an amazing builder. He has now got his own model magazine now. There's a lot. I could go on and on and on. Daniel, if you're on Facebook, go look up Lead'em Rack, and it's model car spelled backwards. Lead'em Rack. This guy, unbelievable builder, but what really sets him apart is his painting skills. His painting skills are just amazing, and I'm talking about graphics. He never uses decals hardly. He's hand painting everything.
Wow.
He's incredible. So Daniel, I hope you're watching, buddy, but that's definitely something you want to look up for him, because he's an all of y'all. If you don't know who Daniel is, Lead'em Rack on Facebook.
Okay, great.
Model car backwards. You won't be disappointed.
And folks too, you guys watching, if you'd like to be on the show, send me a bunch of your pictures. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm willing to get anybody in here. You don't have to be a big content guy like Matt's like one of the biggest stars I've had. I did it because it's ratings week here.
Yeah, right. I was just hoping I didn't break the camera or hurt you in any way. I kept telling you, said, "Man, I'm trying to make you look good. That's all I want to do is make you look good."
You're a good sport. I really appreciate it.
Hey, by the way, I was going to tell you this the other day. I have a ton of family in Youngstown.
Oh, no kidding.
That's where my dad's from. Yeah. So I got aunts and uncles still up there right now. And, my grandparents were up there until they passed. And my dad grew up there until he went into the military. And he was telling me some stories. I know you haven't been there very long, but he was telling me, Youngstown was a big mob area growing up. So he had some stories to tell me, stuff that he's seen when he was little. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm well aware of Youngstown. I was born and raised here.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought you just moved there.
Well, I returned.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and actually, I returned 18 years ago. So,
Oh, wow.
well, I was 21 when I moved to Arizona, and then I came back in 2006 back to Youngstown. So I was out there for like 27 years. But yeah,
So
yeah,
then you grew up at what year? I don't want to give your age away there, Kenny Rogers, but what year were you born?
59.
59. Okay, my dad was born in 51.
Okay.
Yeah, he had, man, I wish you and him could get together because he could tell you some stuff and something about Cadillac Chuck, something like that. There was some famous mobster that they lived across the street from, and they seen anything and everything. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. So yeah, we've got a connection there. I've got some family up there still.
Boy,
So
if you're ever visiting, stop by or get hold of me.
I was going to say. Now you've got some YouTube creators and big time builders living around you, don't you?
Yeah. Well, next week's guest is Mark from Grandpa Mark's Hobbies, and I met him.
The golden voice. I'll tell you what, his voice is incredible.
This is the closest I got. Let's see here. Hold on.
Mark, I'm gonna try. It's a little too gritty though.
Still not there. Yeah. He should have been a radio DJ or something. I mean, him and Fred Henry and all these guys with these big golden tones. I don't know where to get it from.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, but I met him at one of our local car shows last year, and I mean, he lives a mile away from me. I mean,
That's
who would have ever
crazy.
thought? Yeah, because we were talking about it. He said he was in Youngstown, and but we're actually in a little town called Poland, which is a suburb, and yeah, he's about a mile away. And then Joe from Joe's New Rush Shop, who was a guest a couple weeks ago, he lives right here in Youngstown too, but where he works is only a mile away. So what a small world.
That is cool. I love how Grandpa does the at the beginning. He's got the little figurines all around the car, like they're looking at it and stuff. Kind of like what you do with the building and stuff like that. It's pretty neat, pretty creative. And then he usually has a story to go with it. Like, I think he's got names for each of those guys. Creepy.
Krista.
She must have been talking about your voice.
Let's see if you like this one, Krista.
Okay, well, the show must go on.
That's your girl voice?
That's supposed to be a girl voice. It sounds like a girl who started smoking when she was 6 and she's now 85.
When she was 6.
Yeah.
My goodness. Hey, congratulations to you. And I know you recently stopped, so that's awesome. Good job, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Congratulations.
August of 24 was my last one.
That's no easy feat. No easy feat.
But I'm definitely over it. I don't ever even think about it anymore. I just wish I could have done that 40 years ago. But
yeah, so
it
now
we just took a scare.
Paint fumes all day.
Yeah, right.
I don't know which is worse.
Speaking of which, I don't know about you. I know you have the same paste booth and that carbon filter.
Yep.
So I was spraying about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and my fan was really sounding funny. And I thought, well, maybe I'm getting back pressure. So I went down to my little filter there, and that thing was pretty built up with paint inside and out. So I finally replaced it. So I got about 3 months out of that filter. And
the canister?
The canister, yeah.
Really? Now, did you get the same brand I got?
Yeah.
Because I think I had the link on that channel for that. Well, if you look over my shoulder here, right there, as you can see, I think I spoke to you a couple months ago about the Pace, the actual blower motor. Yeah, right there. It's black now. Yours is silver because that's a Vivor or whatever they call them. I replaced it. That's a 200 CFM blower, but the Pace comes with a 143 CFM blower, and my Pace blew up. It stopped working, and I'm not bad mouthing Bob Pace because He's a great guy. Contacted me, he said, well, if you send me the motor, I'll send you another one. And at that time, I'd found the Vivor that had a higher CFM, replaced it. But then going back to the canister, I usually will take mine out about once a month, go into my workshop, and I've got a huge air compressor in there. I blow it all out with the air compressor. So
I did
but
that.
that's once a month I do that.
I did that too. I probably wish I would have done it a little more regularly, but I did that after I bought the replacement one, and I think now I kind of have a spare, So
Oh wow.
I think I can alternate them.
Yeah.
Like one's getting bad.
Well, that's charcoal, so you don't really want to get it wet. I don't think it says you can spray that down, which I don't know if I'd recommend, but yeah, blowing it out is what I've been doing. But yeah, I wanted to let you know about the blower motor, so because that's unfortunately mine did go out, and we did have a conversation about that a couple months ago, and you said yours was doing fine. But yeah, Bob, I tell you what, that company's unbelievable. He will do whatever it takes to help you, and it is, I mean, they're not exactly the cheapest booths out there, but the old plastic ones we had, I could not get it clean. No matter what you did, you cannot get that thing clean. I could take some acetone, spray that bad boy down, wipe it out, and no matter what overspray I have in there, it comes right out. I mean, it's so easy.
Yeah, I like that, and a fan, even though yours is more powerful than mine, it pulls enough where I can spray right out in front of it.
Yeah,
and it's great for camera shots.
Absolutely.
I used to have to shoot with that camera right between my arms and be spraying like this. And,
so awkward.
Yeah. So now I'm very comfortable. The tripod's off to the side, and I think it's a better experience for the viewer and certainly for me. So
it's funny you say that, because the video I got dropping Sunday, I just finished editing and uploading it today. It'll drop Sunday at 9, and it's got the exact same view that you're talking about from the side where I'm spraying the car, showing, 1 or 2 coats in a fast forward motion, because I didn't want anybody to sit there and watch me watch paint dry. But it's that booth, I like that booth. It is expensive, but it's worth every penny to me.
Yeah, I'm happy with it too. I know what I am going to do this year, though. I am going to knock a 4-inch hole through my block wall and put a dryer vent there.
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
I wish I could do it.
Yeah, it's a basement wall, and if I ever move the booth or anything, I mean, I'll hang a picture over the hole.
Unfortunately, I live in a neighborhood it's a pretty decent neighborhood, and the HOA is like a prison. And my model room is at the front of the house, so this window behind me faces the main road, and so I can't have anything sticking out or stuck in my windowsill or anything like that. So unfortunately, I have to spray inside, or I have to go in my shop. And I've tried spraying in my shop one time for a standard paint job. I don't mind spraying out there if I'm using a rattle can primer or anything like that. But that Belvedere, I did spray gray once in the shop, and that was a big no-no. I mean, I had so much trash in it. I mean, it looked like it had goosebumps.
Yeah, you got all the wood dust everywhere.
From the wood. And I have a pretty powerful dust filtration system in my shop. So that's why I was thinking, hey, I should be okay. I'll stand right underneath the ventilation system. It's sucking right here, and I'm spraying, and no, it didn't matter. If anything, it probably sucked all the dust from the ground right up into my paint job. So I learned my lesson with that, and that's when I was kind of like, okay, it's time to invest in a good booth.
Good. By the way, I got you 10,000 and your 10,001 subs now. Joe just subbed to your channel.
Nice. Actually, I think it might be like at 10,200, something like that.
Yeah, so I know you are. You're selling.
I'm selling.
Sailing like a sailor.
Sailing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, somebody told me, he commented, and he never came back to explain or say another thing, but it was one of my recent videos, and he just said, didn't take you long to sell out.
I mean, come on.
I don't know what he's talking about. I mean,
They're probably saying because you've got sponsors now and stuff like that. I mean, it's my thing is good for you, man. If whoever it was, if they were in your shoes, they would do the same thing. If you're in love with a hobby and you're working as hard as you do to make these videos, people think these videos are easy. They're not easy to do. There's a lot of work involved. And if a company wants to throw you a bone for doing something, why not take it? Heck yeah, that's not selling out.
Yeah, for
No.
sure. Well, I certainly don't feel like I am either, and to me, it enhances what I do, my content.
Absolutely.
I think, because
Absolutely.
I'm a retired guy on Social Security and a little extra income. I can't be affording all this stuff to be thrown at my models, so it's nice to have a sponsor saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
try this and try that." And
Absolutely. Bryce will get you anything you need, buddy.
yeah, he's a good man. He takes good care of me. So
That's right. I would have been with him if I wasn't already with because I like him a lot, but I was already with Ryan from Z-Force and Matt with MCV Products. Matt was my first guy to contact me, and I mean they're all great people. They all do great things, and you got a good one there. I mean,
yeah.
Bryce is a good guy.
Now, to me, a sellout would be, and I do, folks, whoever you were that was making that comment, I get emails every day by people wanting me to test their products and stuff. And and every email is like, we watch your channel. We love your content. Would you check, how would you like to check out this lady's purse? No, you don't watch my channel. You don't know.
It's funny because that just happened to me the other day. I had Nordum, the cybersecurity thing for your computer. Is it Norton? Norton? Can't remember what it was. But they contacted me, I guess, because I had hit the 10,000 mark, and that might be their threshold. But that's a pretty big sponsorship. But I said, well, how does that look, me working on a model and then stop to say, by the way, is your computer protected with virus software? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Save that for the guys that have 300,000 subs and
or working or
10,000
doing stuff with computers. I mean, I'm working on a plastic model here. I'm not gonna sell out to do a dang I guess a commercial for computer software. It just doesn't make sense.
Right. And it's a shame because I get I would be getting a lot of cool free stuff, but I'm just not going to go there,
Yeah.
Because if somebody sends me something, I'm going to make a video. But if it's not related to the model building, I'm not going to do it at all. So.
Absolutely. I'm the same way. It just doesn't make sense. And for instance, I know this is probably a shameless plug, but Katurk is really hitting the market hard. And I bought into them. They when they sent me that tool and I used it, I fell in love with it, and I said, I'm all in. Probably the greatest little Dremel tool I've ever used, and that was one of the few companies, and it's not a huge company, and I'm not getting a whole lot out of it, but that was something. If I feel the product is strong and I can stand behind it, I'm jumping all over it, and I'll swear by it. It's just things like that. It's such a cheesy little tool, and it's not like, what is it, $30, $35? It's not real expensive. I think.
In fact, you did such a good job that you sold me. I'm gonna buy one because
awesome.
I'm using a China one from Amazon, and it looks very similar and in multi speed and everything. But you had mentioned how strong the torque is on that Katurk.
Torque is unbelievable.
Where this one here, if you put a little bit of pressure on it, I mean, you could just freeze up, or you could stop the motor. I need a little torque there to be able to do some of the work I want to do.
And that's what I'm talking about, especially with me doing so much scratch building and modifying and changing things up. I was using that. I had a Hardell, the old orange ones.
That's what I got, the Hardell.
Yeah, the old orange ones, and I was on board with them. Not as a sponsor, but when I got that tool, I showed it as one of my top 10 tools to have in one of my videos. But the more I got into scratch building and really modifying these cars, it was not working for me. So when I got that, the Katurk, game changer. Now, I will say if it gets down to 1 or 2 battery cells left, it will start to bog down. But gosh, it takes a long time before you have to even worry about charging that thing. It just takes forever. Papa's workshop, he is now using Katurk, and I know Paul at Left Coast Model Builders is now with Katurk as well. So that's just proof you've got two other, high-end content creators that are swearing by it. Paul's been around forever with
Right.
Left Coast Model Car Show. He does the Model Cars and Coffee.
Yes.
He's the host of that every Sunday. And I had to laugh when I first saw it because he got a pink one. Hey, but he's using it. It still works.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get one because I use mine quite a bit when I'm doing like the rust holes and fitting these big engines into these chassis. Some of them you got to do a lot of hacking away.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll love it. You'll definitely use my code.
I will do that. That's a video I'm going to be putting out too, is when YouTube becomes a business. And that might be a good one to meet up with you again, or maybe we'll do another show together or something just about YouTube. We kind of talked about that a little bit.
We did. It would be great because we have that just shows you how big this modeling community has grown. And if you really want to see how big it is, go to a show. I have so many comments and stuff. Is model making really that big? I don't ever see model kits anywhere. I'm like, you're not going to the right place, or jump online, jump on YouTube, because model making, especially on the cars. I mean, you got the younger kids doing the Gundams and stuff like that, but the cars, we went to a show. I'm fortunate enough to give a shout out to my wife. She is gung-ho into the model community as well. Like I said earlier, she does a lot of my 3D resin parts, but she also builds herself, and she goes to every single show with me. And we went to a show that was, I think, an IPS show, which is usually more military, boats, ships, stuff like that. And the whole arena we were at had nothing but, it was in Charleston, South Carolina. This was last year. And the outside skirts of the tables, completely empty. But the rows where the cars were, packed full, side by side. So model cars is, the model community is much bigger than people think it is. It's really
I was
growing
surprised
fast.
too. Yeah. Because I was watching all kinds of these guys before I started, and now I'm having them on my show. So go figure.
Isn't that wild? Now, are you going to NNL East this year?
I'm definitely planning it. I haven't made reservations, which I should really do that. Yeah, I'm planning on doing that one this year because I think that's a good show.
You there.
Oh, good. You thinking about coming? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably definitely coming. And then and of course Acme. Those are two shows. If anybody could ever get to, it'll just blow your mind. Just how big this model building community is. It's just wild.
Yeah, I think I want to do Acme too. I know I'm way too late to make reservations for the hotel that sponsors the show, but I think I could probably find something in the within 15-mile radius of the show, and so I probably ought to get some plans made for that too.
Yeah, I probably need to as well. And believe it or not, from Columbia, South Carolina, I'm driving there because I don't want. If I bring 6 or 7 models to put in the show, I don't want to try to fly. I can't even imagine trying to pack for flying to a show like that. I'm in sheer panic when I pack my stuff to drive to a show that something's going to happen to them. So
yeah, no kidding. Flying. Yeah, even and you can't carry it on, so I would never trust the baggage handler.
No way. Yeah. And Lord forbid if they ever lost them, that may not mean anything to them. But when you've got, 150 hours of build time into something, you get a little attached to it. So
for sure.
It's your art piece.
Well, great. Then it looks like we might be able to hook up at a couple shows then, because I plan on doing Acme as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah. My first big show comes up in the 21st of March, and that'll be the Buckeye Classic in Columbus, Ohio. So that's a nice big show. And I'm going to hit quite a few this year. I'm going to hit Detroit. I'm going to hit that, Acme. There's a couple local ones here to Youngstown, Cleveland. I just love the shows. I love meeting my heroes, guys like you, and then
Oh,
I'm meeting guys like you, and then I got guys coming up to me because they're fans of me, and then that's what took me off guard.
yeah.
I'm still trying to get used to that. So
It's funny you're saying that because the very first time I got recognized, it took me off guard, and I was a little not scared, but more of like, how do you know me? But duh, I'm promoting myself all over the place. But then what the coolest part of it is when kids, I have a couple of shows where a couple of kids have run up to me and said, "Hey, are you Matt from Matt's Models and More?" And that just made my heart melt. I mean, because to me, yes, we're a bunch of old guys working on these cars, but when a kid sees it and watches you and knows who you are and recognizes you, I was floored. I was just
Yeah.
absolutely floored. It just melted me, man. I was like,
that is cool.
this is why I do it right here. This is why I do it.
That's
So I had to
awesome.
kind of calm down my content a little bit because I used to have a lot of innuendos there that I had to kind of calm down on a bit. But yeah, that's
Yeah, you never know who's watching you.
exactly. Even though you put on there, it's not for anybody under 18, but it doesn't matter.
I just got the best idea in the world.
Uh-oh.
Why don't at least 6 or 8 of us content guys rent like a mansion?
Mansion.
Yeah, like a bed and breakfast, or what do you call it? The Airbnb.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've worked with people in the past that have taken vacations with a whole bunch of family members, and they rent like a mansion. And by the time they divvy it up, everybody's paying like $200 a night. Well, hotels are $200 a night.
Yeah, that's really not a bad idea.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, especially if we do like Acme or NNL East, or NNL East is what, in April? Pretty soon for that.
That one's in April. Yes.
Yeah, Acme's in October. So we could definitely have enough time to set that up if you wanted to. Now, are you driving down?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a vacation out of it. The part that I hate about it is I would definitely want to take my motorcycle, but I can't because that's not going to carry any models, and I want to bring models.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll have to drive the car or the
I know
truck or something.
I know you're jonesing to get on that bike.
Boy, this has been the most brutal winter because normally I can ride all year round. Like last year, I was out in January. I got heated grips and a heated seat and put on some leathers, and I can get out there when it's 35 degrees and ride
You're
for
a
a little
bold
while.
man. I don't even like going in my shop when it's 40 degrees. There ain't no way I'm getting on a motorcycle.
So what's the temperature in South Carolina today?
Well, today I want to say it probably hit 60 something, 63, 64, something like that. But heck, a couple days ago we were at 73 and it was beautiful. I think it was the day we first started talking. I was like, man, it was 73 here today. I was shorts, t-shirt, working in shop with the garage door open. That's what I like.
Sweet.
You can keep all that snow and all that -8 y'all had the other day way up there.
This is about the worst I've seen it, I think, since I've been back. I know, and people say, "What are you nuts? Why'd you do that?" But I fell in love with the small town life again. Youngstown, it's a beautiful area here. When it's spring, summer, and fall, it's green rolling hills, just
No
beautiful,
winter.
beautiful.
Keep the winter away.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
a winter guy.
It's been mild, but
I used to be able to take the cold. I don't know. As I've gotten older, the cold just tears me up. And now I understand why people move further and further down south the older they get, because I can't deal with it anymore. I don't know if it's my blood pressure medication or what, but I can't deal with it. No way.
well, that was in my plans when I retired, is to go relocate. But the missus, I told her that we would have to purge because I don't want to pack up this entire house, because we filled up every room and there's just 2 of us. And every room is packed full because we're just
sounds familiar.
And I said, no, we would have to really, just purge everything and start fresh down there. And it's like, she said, that ain't gonna happen.
I wouldn't have been able to retire early if we didn't stay where we stayed, because we've been here 22 years now. We built this house. We picked a lot, built this house, and raised our kids here, and they've moved out now. So it's I don't think we'll ever leave. If I got another house, I definitely wouldn't be able to retire. I'd be going right back to the dealership life, which I definitely don't want to do. Who's that saying? Bring Kevin with you?
King Bob. Well,
Is that
Kevin,
the Acme or NNL?
Kevin, which one do you want to go to, buddy? You pay for your, we'll get that mansion.
We need a jacuzzi. We need a swimming pool.
And it's not going to be just one night. I mean, we'll stay, I'm going to drive that far down there and stuff. I mean, I'll probably spend like 5 days.
Hey, that's what I'm doing with NNL East. It probably won't be 5 days, but I wasn't going to drive that far for just a day or two. I'll probably stay there for 3 or 4 days. Now, I will be going to this by myself. My wife does a girls trip, and she's going to Mexico this year. So I was like, where am I going to go? Couldn't think where I wanted to go. I was going to go to SEMA, and then I found out they don't let. I thought you could just get into SEMA, but from what I'm finding out, they don't just let regular people into SEMA.
No, you have to be in business, and it has to be auto related.
Yeah. So
like when I was a detail guy, I could have done that actually because I was doing that out in Arizona. I should have went. I never went. But yeah, you can't just walk in. So
yeah, so that knocked that out. So I was like, NNL East is like the biggest show on the East Coast. I think it rivals Acme by almost from what now I don't know if this is true. We had 960 cars on the table in Acme, but I've heard they have close to 1,400 or 1,500 at NNL East.
Okay,
is that true? Have you been to it yet?
No, I have not.
If somebody comments that's been there, maybe somebody can tell us what the actual number was. But I heard it's bigger than Acme, and let me tell you, Acme was overwhelming to me. I don't think I saw every car on the table.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, it also, because you're known on YouTube, you're trying to walk around and see everything, and you keep getting stopped, which I don't mind stopping and talking to people, but then you do get out of that rhythm of, really inspecting the cars and spending some time with them and looking at them and, investigating. So, it's just part of it. But I couldn't imagine trying to do a show with double that.
Right. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah. It's just a 1-day show, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So Serge has a question for you here about commission work.
Yes. But it is certain things. And I do ship stuff out for free. It says I was worried to build ships. Oh no, I don't do anything like that. Yeah. Unfortunately, most of my stuff is, signs, kitchen utensils. It's nothing of that magnitude. I wish I could do something like that. Gosh, I probably could if I put my mind to it, but the stuff I make has to be quick moving so I can make money on it. Now that it is a business, it's a little, the art is a little bit there, but it's more of a production style now. I got to be able to keep eating and buying more models.
Right. But your shop is right at home?
Yeah. So very nice to be able to just walk right outside and, come inside for lunch, and the wife can come in and visit me, or I can take a break anytime. I mean, there's days where I just didn't feel like working. If I didn't have any commission jobs that needed to be done that day, I'd just stay inside because it was too cold. Good. I do have propane heaters in there, but no, if it gets to a certain degree, I'm like, nope, not doing it.
I know. My garage, that was the first thing I did when I retired. I started insulating my ceiling, and I was going to put a heater in there, but I never completed it because I thought, hey, I could go tinker on my motorcycle and, tear it apart, put new suspension on or something during the winter. But it's only 5 degrees warmer in there than it is outside. So I have no interest in working in my garage right now.
Jeez. So when it's -8, it's -3 in the garage.
It's close to that. God. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but it's cold. Trust me.
No way, man. You keep all of that.
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been a great show, and we are only minutes away from 2 hours. So this is a record.
That went by fast.
I knew it was going to go by quick with you, buddy. I knew it.
I enjoyed it, Ken. I really enjoy it, and I'm proud to be part of this community, and I'm proud to know people like you. And I'm going to keep doing this as long as I can, as long as people will accept me and and I'm not going to change. The bigger and bigger we get is just going to only help the community. We won't be
Great.
sellouts. Like everybody says. It's just going to bring cooler things to the show is what it's going to do. That's what people need to think about is it's not, you don't want the little guy in the corner that has a beat up camera and fumbling around and not knowing what you're doing. You want a good production show, something that brings entertainment and knowledge to you as a builder. So that's what we should be doing.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about turning it into a business. I mean, this is not my business. This is just my hobby, but I treat it like a business. It's like a business experiment, which is just another, it's just another hobby on top of all my hobbies that are related to this. Is like, okay, let's see how far I can take this. And, you know, and that's why I make my adjustments like the green screen and now the live stream podcast on Fridays. It's like,
you've got the tech, buddy, mastered. You're the master of tech, because first time I saw that green screen, I'm like, what? How did he do that? I can't. I'm not there yet. So
it's a lot of fun. I mean, right now I kind of set up a little green screen studio in my back room, and that's the hardest part. Is you know, if you would put that away every show, then it'd be like, oh, what a hassle, you know, for a 30-second spot. I probably wouldn't even be doing it, but you know. I got a corner in the basement. I set up my green screen studio, so that makes it a lot easier. I could just go out there and turn my lights on. I have it all lit up and ready.
I'd probably get in trouble if I had a green screen, so I probably don't need to do anything like that. Probably, yeah. My imagination runs a little rampant.
Yeah, it could be fun. I did a whole bunch of silly videos with family several years ago, and that's how I first learned it. And you know, did all kinds of stuff. You know, I had like my little nephew flying like Superman with the cape and all that stuff, and it looked so real. You know, because I took video driving down the road out my side window, so I had the trees flying by, and then I got him in front of a green screen laying on a table with his arms out.
Great. That's
you know,
great. You know, he loved that.
I can't share it though because I'm playing the Superman theme music, so it would be a hit.
You get hit by the police, YouTube police.
That's right. Anyways, what a good time. Thank you for joining me. I really had a great time, and we're gonna have to do this again if you're willing.
Anytime, buddy. Anytime. I'm here for you.
Okay, great. Hopefully we'll see you at one of the shows, and keep up the good work. And I'm going to study your pictures a little bit more and try to slow down a little bit because I want to get to that next level. I just haven't reached it yet, you know, but I know I'm capable of it.
Every day, just like you're trying to reach a certain level, I'm trying to do the same. I'm trying to catch up to the Irvins and the Arter Rakes and the Mark Batsons and all the Tim Kalinkowitz, all those guys that are just amazing builders. We're always trying to reach that level, and that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, in fact, you know, a lot of my fan base are people that just got into the hobby with no real skill for building either. Maybe they did it like as a kid, like I did. And I'm finding these guys they're mastering their paint jobs and stuff, you know, because I take the time to show that on almost every video. And a lot of my subs are like turning out spectacular paint jobs now. So they're going to get bored if I keep with the basics too. You know, now that I taught them how to come up a couple levels, I gotta.
Many people are so nervous about building, and I'm like, look, it's plastic. You can't mess it up. I mean, even if you mess it up, so what? You start over, you take the paint off. I mean, there's so many. You can't be nervous about it. Hack it up, chop it up, do whatever. It's just plastic. It's just a craft.
Yeah. The one thing I let get to me is that I want to keep videos coming out of my builds, and I'm letting that influence me. Like, you know, hey, I got to get this wrapped up so I can get it out there. And, you know, if I would have spent another 2 weeks on it, I'd probably have a much better build going on. So
yeah,
that's what I need to do.
There's definitely a fine line there. I can get that. It's just I think as long as you keep the audience engaged and show them where you're at in the process, I think you're good. Because I'm always working now on about 5 at one time. So I get it. You can always show them what you're working on. I got 1 or 2 that I'm not going to show because I'm trying to surprise some people at Acme. So I'm trying to keep those on the DL until I get them done. And it's going to be a year project for me because I don't work on it a whole lot, and it's highly, highly detailed. And well, I can't say too much. It's just so you got your projects like that I'm not going to show anybody.
Right. I put one last question up on the screen here from Serge. So, no, I was not in radio. Matt, you were in radio? No.
No, I got a face for radio.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is he insinuating that we had to have come from radio?
Well, I definitely have a face for radio. That's for sure.
That's what Mark was saying last night because he was a guest on a podcast last night, filling in for somebody, and they were talking about his golden voice. He said, "Well, I got to have a voice like this if this is my face I was born with," you know. All right. Hey, let's go ahead and end it. 2 hours on the dot. So thanks again, buddy. We'll keep in touch.
Goodbye, everybody. Appreciate it.
Okay, folks, I really appreciate you watching. But another great show. I saw some record numbers there and a lot of great comments. So keep watching us every Friday. I really appreciate it. And check out Matt's channel. I do have a link in my description for his channel, and also a link to his business in case you want to see some more of his offerings from his woodworking. So thanks a lot, everybody, and everybody be safe, and we'll see you again next Friday. Bye, all.